So hi everybody and welcome to this week's video of RBX Excel videos. In this video we are going to make multiple dependent drop-down lists, and that basically means that the choices in one drop-down are dependent on the choice in another drop-down. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to watch a lot more of my videos. Well, in this video we are creating multiple dependent drop-down lists. And for that I have a table here with the name, the state and the city. And what we are going to achieve is that when we choose a state from a drop-down in this column, the drop-down in this column contains only the cities of the state which is chosen in the first column. And for that we need the offset, the match and the COUNTA function. I made separate videos about the offset function and the match function. If you want to have more explanation about these functions, you can watch these videos and I will put them in the cards in this video. The first thing we need to do is make a drop down in this cell. So that's quite easy. Go to your data tab in your ribbon, go to data validation, select list, and for the source select the 3 states in here. Click OK and you will see we have a drop down with the 3 states. So I'm going to select Florida for this example. And now we are creating a function which we need for our data validation in this column. I'm going to make the function first in this cell so you can watch how it works. And when we completed our function, we are going to copy it to our data validation to create a dropdown. And because we want to copy the data validation of these 2 cells to the cells below, we really need to watch out which cell references we are going to fix. Well, now we are going to create a formula in this cell which we're going to copy to our data validation. So I'm just going to type my offset function first in this cell. I type =, offset, opening bracket, and it needs a reference. Well, in this case I'm going for the most upper left cell in my range here. I think that's the easiest way. I'm going to fix that cell. And I'm going to type a semicolon to go to the rows. Well, I don't want to go any row down, so I'm going to choose a 0 for that. A semicolon to go to the columns. Well, this is where the match function comes in. While the number of columns to go to the right, it depends on the choice of the state. Because when I chose Florida, I go 1 column to the right. And when I chose Texas, I want to go 2 columns to the right. And when I chose California, I want to stay in this column. So that's where the match function comes in. I just type my match function, opening bracket, and I need a lookup value. Well, I'm going to look for this value and I'm going to fix only the column for this. And I'm going to search for it in this range. And I'm going to fix that range also. We are looking for an exact match, so I type a 0 for that and I'm closing my match function. So I type a semicolon to go to the height. And for that I choose 10 for the moment. We are going to adjust that later. And semicolon to go to the width, and I want a width of only 1 column. Just close my function, press enter, and you see we have a list here. Well, when you look at that list, you see the cities are the cities of the state Texas and not Florida. So we need to adjust our function a little bit. You see the match function. I can select my match function. I can press F9 and you see the result of the match function is 2. I'm going to press escape to undo this. So it goes from Los Angeles 2 columns to the right. That's not what we want because we want to go 1 column to the right for the state of Florida. So I need to correct my match function and I'm correcting it by -1. Press enter and you see I have my cities of Florida. And we can see when I change this to California, I have my cities of California. When I say Texas, I have my Texas cities. But you see, there are also some zeros here. Well, now we need to adjust our function to get rid of these zeros. How do we do that? Well, let's first take a look why are these zeros here. In my function, I already said I chose 10 for the height of my range. So you can now see this range has a height of 10. So we want to make that dynamic. When I chose California as a state, I want to have a height of 7. And when I chose Florida, I want to have a height of 4. And when I chose Texas, I want to have a height of 5. So how do we make that height dynamic? So we can use the COUNTA function for that. The COUNTA function counts the number of not empty cells in a range. So I'm just gonna type my COUNTA function, an opening bracket, and now I need to give Excel a range where it needs to count. Well, the range is different every time, depending on the state. For California, it needs to count the cells in here, for Florida in here, and for Texas in here. So we are going to use another offset and match function to determine the range for the COUNTA function. I'm just going to type my function again, offset, opening bracket. I'm going to use the same cell reference. I'm going to fix that reference. The number of rows to go down is 0. I don't want to go any rows down. And the number of columns, again, I'm going to use my match function for that. I'm going to look for the Texas state. I'm going to fix only the column. I'm going to look in this range for that. I'm going to fix that range. And my match type is a 0 because I want an exact match. Close my match function. And again, I have to correct this with -1. Press a semicolon, go to the height. Or we can choose again a 10 for that. It doesn't matter, it needs to be more than the longest list of cities you have. And for the width, I go again with 1 column. I'm closing my offset function with a closing bracket, and again, I'm closing my COUNTA function with a closing bracket, and I press enter. Well, you can see the zeros are gone. So this fixed the problem with the zeros. Well, what we have to do now is copy your whole function, press Ctrl C, press Escape to leave the formula bar, and you can go to your data validation button again, select the list, and paste my function in here. Press OK, and you see I have a drop down with the cities of Texas, and when I choose California, I have a drop down with the cities of California. Well, the last thing we need to do is copy this data validation, select it, press Ctrl C, and I'm going to select all the cells below. I'm going to right click, I'm going to click paste special, and I'm going to go for validation. Press OK, and now you see all rows have the same validation. Florida with the 4 cities of Florida, and Texas with the 5 cities of Texas. So that's how you make multiple dependent drop-down lists. So that's how you create multiple dependent drop-down lists. I hope you learned a lot of it and that you can make your own multiple dependent drop-down lists. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to watch a lot more of my videos. Thanks for watching.